Chapter 45, Thugs in Business Suits. The year was 1963. Trap and Annabelle were playing for the national championship. It was a 2-day, 4-session event. After the first day, half the field was eliminated, leaving only the best of the best. All the legends of the game were there, said Arnold. Gorin, Jacoby, and Annabelle and Trap had as good of a chance to winning as any of them, said Lucy. They were in 5th place going into the final session. About an hour into the session, a group of men entered the playing area. Thugs in business suits, Arnold called them. The men spread out and walked up and down the aisles between the rows of tables. Lucy said there were more than 20 of them, but Arnold said there were only 12. Arnold and Lucy had also been playing in the event, but not with each other. Gloria hadn't been there, but she had heard all about it. One of the thugs spotted Annabelle, and then they all converged on the table. 2 men were holding Annabelle, said Lucy, and the rest formed a wall around her. She was dragged away, kicking and screaming. Lucy's voice cracked as she spoke. 45 years later, the memory still brought tears to her eyes. Couldn't anyone stop them? I asked. Your uncle tried, said Arnold. I drove him to the hospital. He had a busted nose and 3 broken ribs. What about the police? I asked. Did they have 911 back then? This was Chicago, said Arnold. Those men were the police. That was the last time Lucy or Arnold ever saw Annabelle. It wasn't until almost 6 months later that they learned she had been locked up in an insane asylum. The Rolling Brook Sanitarium, said Arnold. Trap went there almost every single day, but they wouldn't let him see her. He demanded to speak to her doctor, but they wouldn't let him do that either, because he wasn't family. But then when Nina became involved, said Lucy, they wouldn't let her talk to Annabelle either. Who's Nina? I asked. Annabelle's sister, said Gloria. Trap and Nina must have filed 6 lawsuits on Annabelle's behalf, said Arnold. But the King family controlled the judges, too. The judge said he couldn't do anything without a signed affidavit from Annabelle. But how are they supposed to get a signed affidavit if they weren't allowed to see her? Not even the other patients were allowed to see her. She was kept isolated for more than 2 years. This chime is so long. Forgot how long that chime was. Let me know if I should redo this chapter. Anyways. She was insane when she entered Rolling Brook, said Gloria, but after 2 years... The only way Trap could find out any information about Annabelle was to wait in the parking lot, and then bribe the orderlies and the janitors when they got off work. Most had never seen her, but they had heard rumors about her, and they heard her screams. She wasn't being beaten. Her screams were screams for attention. At some point, Annabelle managed to obtain a bottle of bleach from a janitor's cart. When Arnold first mentioned the bottle of the bleach, I actually felt helpful. I thought that maybe she threw bleach in a doctor's face, then escaped out a window into Trap's waiting arms. I watched too much TV. She committed suicide by drinking the bleach. It took her several tries, but she kept vomiting it back up. We walked out of the restaurant. I ran my fingers over the cold, hard bricks of the cement factory. A heart like a brick, my father had said. Whose heart wouldn't turn cold and hard? I thought of my mother as a little girl, hearing all those stupid, dirty stories about Annabelle King. I thought of all the stupid things I had said to my uncle. Did you ever work as a milkman? When you first met Annabelle, how old was her daughter? I always make the biggest fool of myself just when I think I'm being the most clever.